being presented with an opportunity to be part of not just an exquisite piece of cinema, but working with Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis as well is obviously a no-brainer why you wanted to be part of it. What was it about that script that actually resonated with you?
It was something I couldn't really explain. It was more like a feeling. I had a very strong feeling to this script, and to this day I don't really know what it was. But of course it was also this woman who's so strong, but then free, but then very normal and simple, from a simple background. I found her very refreshing.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
It's not your usual character, female character that
Exactly.
you come across.
Yes, yes.
And Daniel had already been living as Reynolds Woodcock for a few months before you got to meet him, and you got to meet him as the character, didn't you?
Yes.
Wasn't that quite intimidating for you?
It was in theory, and I was very, nervous, I think, and I tried to do everything to not be nervous by, I don't know, thinking about everything but movies. I just, went on walks, or I looked outside of my window. I tried to, see different things than a movie. But then when I met him, it was fine. I don't know, it was because, of course, the idea of it is intimidating, but then in the end, as an actor, what you do is you act opposite someone or something. So if I'm acting opposite a chair or an actor, is in the end kind of the same. I know it sounds weird, but I take what comes to me and the energy of it. So if someone is just very much his character, it's not as intimidating because it's the character you're meeting. And that's what I'm acting with and, for. So it kind of makes sense.
You also didn't have much time to rehearse either beforehand, did you? How do you go about developing that kind of character, and also especially with the dynamics between Reynolds and Alma as well?
So what I needed to understand was how could she be so strong in such a world, and being a woman of the 50s who's, still living kind of strictly to the rules of the time, being a woman and, having washed her father's clothes all her life and making his meals and looking after her sister and her brother like you would do. So in one hand, being able to be so restrained and also ready to support someone else, but then having this inner strength so she can face him and even change him and turn him around. So that was something I needed to understand, and I did it by understanding her in, like my grandmother, I looked at my grandmother, and who also was a young girl in the war, and what it meant to live in the war and see people die and having to survive and then having to escape your country and a new country. So to prepare Alma, I really spent most of my time thinking of my both of my grandmothers, really.
Did you see any same characteristics that you have with Alma as well?
Yes. I don't know which way it goes, but I definitely have the same strong will, and I'm not afraid of things. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm from Luxembourg and it's such a small place that you just, I don't know, you're not so afraid. I don't know.
Okay. She's also, at first she has this tendency to come across as quite shy, and she lets him control her. But as time goes by, obviously she becomes a stronger person. What was it like for you to play such a strong-willed female character?
Nice. It was perfect. It was, for me, the perfect role, even especially nowadays, to play a woman. Because, it's, on one hand, it's obvious you play a strong woman because she's strong, because she's feminist, because she's going to, kick someone's ass, yeah, okay. But she seems to be so, as you say, weak in a way, so simple. But this, she's just very humble and very much herself, and that gives her, like, her own strength, which is even stronger. And as a woman nowadays, I found it very, refreshing and new and very nice to play someone like her.
There's not kind of a story that we've seen before.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, and it also has some brilliant icy humour in there as well, which I don't know how. For me, it was like, how did you guys manage to keep a straight face with some of those lines? Did that happen at all? I mean, on set.
Yes.
I mean, did you crack up laughing or?
Yeah.
Because it seemed just really well edited.
Yeah. No, we didn't laugh because we were so concentrated and, as you said, intense. It was intense to work with Daniel, you know, because he was always Reynolds, and Reynolds is not going to laugh, you know. So, but who was laughing, cracking up laughing was Paul all the time, like often. And a few times he had to leave the room so that we could work because he was just laughing too loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!